tell you, if my daughter was here, we would be taking Cassidy home.
Yes.
So it's
Me too.
An incredible story. I got to tell you, I went onto YouTube this morning and I watched the video of when Cassidy was a little kitten.
Yeah.
And then you had that series of, 3 weeks, 9 weeks, and all. Oh.
I know,
Just pulled
right?
up my heartstrings.
Oh, I've been watching him since I've actually watched Shelly's live feeds before. So I saw all the cats that she brought in before, and then when she brought in Cassidy, I was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I was tears bawling. I couldn't stop watching him. I watched him probably 8 hours a day, Cash.
So Shelly, tell us a little bit about how Cassidy came into your life and what you're doing for her.
Well,
Him.
Him.
yeah, I know.
Sorry. Uh-oh, now look.
Now
she
he's
did it.
giving you the
He
bad
did it.
eye.
Yeah.
Well, so we have been working with feral cats, a feral cat colony out in Langley, with about 200 cats, and we rescued him from this feral cat colony when he was about 9 weeks old. And when we rescued him, he was missing both of his back legs below the knee.
Oh,
And-
that must have broke your heart.
Oh, it was, I had never seen anything
Yikes.
like it.
Yeah.
And for him to have actually survived for 9 weeks without his
That's
legs, and he was starving, and he had terrible infections, and there was just something special about him, because no other cat would have survived those kinds of circumstances.
Yeah.
So
Is he in the
where was
forest
he when he
somewhere?
was going, for the 9 weeks?
He was in the forest.
Just out in the woods.
Yeah. His mom took care of him for, when he was just a
Yeah.
baby. And then as he got older and she started weaning, then he couldn't find food on his own, and he was just slowly starving to death.
And how do you think that happened? Do you think that maybe the umbilical cord wrapped around his legs, or?
Yeah, that's what we're
Munchie.
thinking. Yeah, it definitely happened after he was born, and sometimes, unfortunately, the moms, when they're just trying to get the umbilical cord untangled and
yeah.
everything, they'll chew through whatever's in their way, and
Yeah.
if it was around his legs, then they were just sort of.
So your journey with him, visually I saw it till I'm not sure how many weeks that video went to, but you taught him how to walk. You taught him without his rear legs. You taught him how to play.
He scoots
You
around,
taught
right?
him,
He
yeah.
does. Yeah, he's needed a lot of physical therapy, and the end goal is obviously to give him the best possible quality of life. And so we're working with a really amazing vet out in North Carolina who is pioneering the field of implants.
Yeah.
These sort of
Amazing.
bionic implants, and so
And they're
we're
like
gonna.
blades or something?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
possibly?
We're hoping that we can make him some sort of blades like the runners have,
That's awesome.
that will give him back the
Yeah.
mobility that he lost.
And
right
he'll
after
be
he
the
was born.
first cat, apparently, that will have the blades.
Well, there is a cat in the UK who has something similar, and there's a cat in Iowa that just got something similar, but there's not going to be anything exactly like Cassidy's out there. So
How old is Cassidy?
he is about 9 months old now.
Oh, he's only 9
Yeah,
months.
still a
Oh.
baby.
I love the video of him on the Roomba, your
Oh,
vacuum.
yeah.
He gets around and goes to the tree, and then he gets back on and goes to the couch and everything.
He's
It's
clever.
good. Did you see that video of him
No,
on the
I
vacuum?
haven't.
Yeah,
I'll show you
That one was tough enough for me to look.
I know, right?
When you showed him, when he was kind of hopping around, it made
Yeah.
me smile.
I
Okay?
know.
He's so
Oh,
sad.
He's
And
so cute.
He makes a lot of people smile.
He does. And you have because you take in other cats that are pregnant,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
you film them live on live stream.
Right.
And shows them giving birth. I watched, like I told you, I should have been working, but I was watching 8 hours of these kitties being born, which
Yeah.
I had not seen kitties
oh, here
being
in the
born.
studio?
Yeah, no, some other place. But I never realized how hard it is for the moms.
Yeah.
Really to give birth, and I was quite shocked. So
It is
watching that,
hard.
it's very addicting.
And
to watch
it's
that.
also great for parents who want to show their kids the miracle of birth.
Yes.
And people also who want their cats to have kittens to see how hard it is.
How hard
and
it is. It's not as easy as
it's
people
not.
think it is. No.
So
Yeah,
do you
so-
find homes for the kittens?
Yes.
For all of them?
Yeah.
Yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Through your organization? Your organization is called
Yeah, Tiny Kittens.
It was Tiny
TinyKittens.com.
Kittens.
Yep.
tinykittens.com. So
Yes.
if people want to find out more information, go on to tinykittens.com.
Yes.
And find out more information. So you take in these cats that have nowhere to go. You
Feral
help them
cats,
through through the pregnancy and the
And she
kittens
she
to a
has
certain
like
age.
gets no sleep some nights, right? When they're birthing and you're
Right.
up like all night and
Yeah.
you want to make sure the kitties are okay.
Yeah, and we have so many people watching that
Yeah.
I want to make sure that each cat is getting the proper care and responsible care, because people learn from us how to take care of their own cats.
Yeah.
And so I don't ever want to miss anything or let anything slip, and so we try to give them the best possible care and come up with new ways and better ways and more compassionate ways of caring for these lost and forgotten cats.
Now people are watching through you. You've got it hooked up through
Live stream.
live stream,
Yeah.
and so you hook it up, and they can watch everything that goes on, and even the kittens
Live, yeah. Being born, like I
being
watched
born,
them.
and then after
Birth to
Yeah.
adoption.
birth
Yeah.
to adoption.
Yeah, you send in
Yeah.
the forms and you scrutinize people, right?
Yes.
Because they're like your babies pretty much,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Which is great. You
Yeah.
know, honestly, you want to make sure. And like she adopts them because people watch you around the world.
Yes.
I mean, she has people around the world, Cash, that
How
watch
many
the live
viewers?
feeds.
Oh, well, it depends. I think we have between maybe 1,000 and 2,000 concurrent
Concurrent,
viewers
like at the same
at
time.
any given
at any
time during the
time,
day,
yeah.
and it goes down to maybe 500 overnight,
Overnight.
depending.
Yeah. But
But-
millions of people watch. It's amazing. The outreach that, I mean, live stream like that on kitties, I hadn't seen that until like, I guess maybe 2 years ago when those dumpster kitties were
Yes.
found. Remember, because I was in news and we were reporting on it, broke my heart.
Yeah.
And of course, all of a sudden they announced that, oh, you can watch on live stream. And that was your live stream with those kitties,
Right,
wasn't it?
yeah.
See, and everybody watched, and everybody wanted to come adopt them, right? So there was
Yeah.
like thousands and thousands of people that wanted to adopt, like, what, how many, 10 kitties? was
Yeah.
it? You know? But that's how I discovered you, and then I was watching, and then I
that's
wanted
how
a kitty.
the two of you met.
Well, we actually never met in person.
No, this is the first
It's the first
time.
time. Yeah, yeah. No,
Really?
I've just
Yeah.
been watching Shelly and seeing everything that she's been doing and the amazing work that she does. I mean, she's been all over. Like, she was on Global. She's been on
Shelley, the
every
way
news
she
source.
talked about you, I
I
thought
know.
for
Like
sure
we're
you're
best friends.
best for years.
Well, I've been watching, so coming from TV background myself,
Yeah.
people feel like they know you,
Yeah,
right?
they
So,
see me in my pajamas in the middle of the
So-
night and
yeah.
crying and laughing and
Yes.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? You know, obviously, I know some of the reasons why, and I can see
Mm-hmm.
how passionate you are with these precious
Why could I
animals. What attracted you, or what prompted you to do everything that you're doing on this right now?
Well, I started just volunteering and fostering cats, and I saw how hard it was to get them adopted and how there are just so many opportunities to raise awareness that aren't being utilized. And I have a background in computer programming, so for me technology is a strength, and so
You
it
were
just
the
made
first.
sense to use my technology background to promote animal rescue and to help raise awareness. And my sort of long-term goal is to raise the value of feral cats and the most underserved population of cats. That's the greatest contributor to overpopulation. To raise awareness about them, tell their stories, help people understand they're individuals and they have value and they're worth saving.
Yeah,
And-
because I've watched some of the feral cats, and it's amazing how, like you said, they turn around, and all of
Yeah.
a sudden now they're living in a home when they've been feral their whole lives. But it's misunderstood that they can actually love humans, right? When usually they're afraid of humans. So I've seen that side, which is quite amazing what you do as well. I mean, she does everything, not just take care of this lovely little kitty here. She does tons. I mean, you have at your home, I guess in the basement or something, a few rooms where you have the kitties.
Right. Right now we're lucky to be across the street.
Yeah.
It's a bit challenging to have 24/7 cameras and audio and all
God,
that.
and make sure it's going down and
Yeah. So
Make sure it's okay.
it's nice to be across the street for now, but yeah, it's quite hectic. There's a lot going on at any given time, and there's no end to the number of cats and kittens in need out there. So
Yeah.
We're going to take a short break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about Cassidy and going forward with Cassidy, because it's we've talked about 3D.
The 3D printing
printing,
wheelchair.
and various things like that. But there's, again, we'll just touch on what the future holds out for Cassidy. Coming up after the break, more with Shelley Roche and the lovely Leah Live on Pulse FM.
It's still live. My turn.
Oh, say hi.
You keep hiding.
Are you camera
he still has his little feral background
Instincts,
yeah. So he definitely loves me. He gets a little nervous around new people and especially new people in new places.
Like my
But that's
kitty,
the-
when anyone comes over, boom, they're up the stairs
Yeah.
hiding.
But that's just like kids.
yeah,
Right? You know,
Yeah.
like when they're in a new situation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. He needs to get used to it because he has to go to the vets and everything so much.
And
so.
you have Bunny and Barty?
Yes, and the
How long?
and Pantsaroo.
And Pantsaroo. And they get along. I watch some of
They
their
do.
interactions and how he goes and
How
tries to
long?
make friends with them. Right?
Yes, in his special way.
I love how you get to pick all the names.
I know.
Oh.
Right? It's just like I keep choosing baby names. I can't have that many babies, but these cats.
I know the naming is fun.
The fun.
Yes.
Oh, you're so cute.
Oh, he's a good boy.
I agree, Tammy. He is a mama's boy.
We're up after this commercial.
Okay. What a cutie. Oh,
Hi guys. If anyone's watching from Tiny Kittens, hello.
They are.
Hi.
Okay.
I just want to take him home.
Me too.
I know he's very little.
10:45. Welcome back. Well, we're joined by Leah, Shelly, and Cassidy. Now, Cassidy, you've tried various apparatuses to get that cat Cassidy as mobile as you can. You've tried the
wheelchair,
wheelchair,
3D wheelchair,
3D wheelchair.
I've seen you holding his back
Yeah.
leg.
I've seen, yeah, and I've seen that,
Yeah.
and I've seen Cassidy drag himself
Yes.
on his back legs. What's coming up next? Leah talked a little bit about that earlier, but just explain what you have planned for him and the attention, the recognition he's getting worldwide because of this.
Well, we are working with Dr. Marcellin Little out at NC State Vet School, and he is pioneering the field of, it's called osseo-integrated implants, which is basically a permanent prosthetic implant that gets attached to his bone and then comes out and replaces the missing part of his leg. And what's really cool about this is that the technology that they're developing is not only going to help cats and dogs, but also it's helping humans in the future too.
Wow.
So it's really important work that he's doing out there, and Cassidy will benefit from it and also will help advance the field. So we're
Other
pretty
kitties.
excited about it. Yeah.
Because
So
another kitty has his wheelchair originally, the one
Yeah.
that he got from
Yeah.
somebody else, the smaller one, right? So it's, it gives, it goes on, right? So another kitty has his original wheelchair, and now he's in a new one, right? So
Because
it's
they
neat
don't
that-
make mobility
Yeah.
aids for
It's
kittens
expensive
because
and
they're
it's
euthanized.
not
Well,
easy,
Yeah,
yeah.
and there just aren't. There's not a market for it really. So
So you have to travel to where for this
North Carolina.
procedure? To North Carolina.
Yeah.
Now, how are you finding the money for this, or to take care of the cats that you take
She's
care of?
amazing
that's a good.
supporters.
Yeah. There is a really supportive community that helps to. When we bring in a cat that needs help, they step up and help. And I've pitched in some money for him, and we have some other people who might be willing to help with the actual surgery. And so we're very, very fortunate to have such a great community. We call it the Tiny Village. The Tiny Village.
Tiny
of
Village.
people
So
who-
Shelley, if people want to contribute to the work
Yeah,
that you're
where can they
doing,
go?
how can they find out more about it? Is it at tinykittens.com?
Yeah, tinykittens.com. We're on facebook.com/tinykittens. And you can donate on our website. We're a nonprofit society. And so you can learn everything you need to learn at tinykittens.com.
Yeah, you can read. She has a whole big write-up and of all the cats and everything. And I remember originally watching too with Marvel.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I fell in love with it. He had
Oh,
a
yeah.
cleft nose and
And
palate.
lip, yeah.
Yeah,
mhm.
she gave, one of the cats that she had was giving birth, and it had cleft nose and lip. So then she had to bottle feed him all the time. And he looked so cute though. Like, I fell in love with him. I know
Yeah.
everybody else fell in love
He
with
was
him.
very special.
That must have been hard for you to give him up, hey?
Oh, it's always
Yeah.
hard. It's always hard.
I
but-
couldn't do it. Like, I'd love to do what you do. I would just keep them all, so I'd have like
You'd
2,000
be
cats.
I
like
know.
I
Lady
would.
with
Yes,
Red.
I would. Don't
Nothing,
judge me.
Yeah, not if there's anything wrong with that.
No, exactly.
How do you think Cassidy's going to react to that? Because the little fella, 9 months old, his entire life, he's been without his back legs.
Mm-hmm.
When you pick him up, when you put him in the wheelchair and all that, do you see him light up a bit? Is he happier?
It's interesting because he when he first got his wheelchair, he loved it because he hadn't been able to move at all, and so he was very frustrated, and it gave him an outlet. And then as he got stronger and he was able to scoot on his own, then he hated the wheelchair because it held him back. And now I just got him a newer, bigger wheelchair, and he is
With
actually
the camo.
liking it.
I saw
Yes,
the camo
it's
print.
the camo edition, so he can be stealthy. And he is enjoying that. He's sort of getting used to it, but I think it's nice because it corrects his posture, and so his needs change on almost a daily basis sometimes, and so just trying to keep up with that and make sure that he's happy and living a really good life even during this phase is important.
Well,
Now, I
with
wanna
someone
ask
like you,
you-
Carrie, he's living a
I
really
know.
good life.
He's
pretty
so
happy.
lucky, yeah. Are you planning on keeping him?
Oh, I knew you
know
were going to ask
I know.
that.
I have to know for myself.
Well, I mean, he's been with me for 7 months now, and we've
Yeah.
been through a lot together. So I think it would be pretty hard to
Yeah.
find him
Absolutely.
the perfect home.
No, there is no perfect
No,
home. I think
yes,
yours
there
is.
is.
The perfect,
Yours
well, that's
is.
what I'm saying. Yours is the perfect home. There's no other place
The
for
second
him.
perfect home is Leah's.
Yeah, I can be the auntie.
Yeah, Auntie
Yeah.
Bia.
I'll take him when you
Yeah.
have to go away.
Around other cats and other domestic type animals, what's he like?
Well, it's funny because he didn't learn the usual cat things when he was growing up, when he was a baby, because he couldn't interact with his litter mates the same way that other kittens would. And so I integrated him with my 3 cats, and he just has the most inappropriate cat behavior. He
Yeah, you gotta
tries to
watch
make
it.
friends by running up and biting their
And then
faces really
like,
hard.
swatting them and running away.
just like a little brother, like a little bratty
Little
brother.
pest. right?
Yeah. But they're very tolerant with him, and he's sort of learning manners. They're teaching him manners slowly, but he sort of missed that phase in his life.
And they're tuxedo cats too. As
Yeah,
well, right?
they match. So
They match, yeah.
Mm.
And do they notice that there's any difference with him? Like, do they notice, or is it
I
like,
don't
whatever?
I
kind of
don't
attitude
think
the
so.
other cats?
I think one of the cats in particular likes when he chases him, so he'll run by really fast, but then he stops and waits for him to catch up, and then
Oh,
he'll
that's
just run off
cute.
again. So I think they're
They're aware.
I
but
think
it
they're
doesn't-
aware, but it doesn't make a difference to them. Yeah, they just go with it.
Oh.
They
And
don't judge.
so now, what I wanted to ask you was, what is the next steps, or when do you go back to North Carolina? I know you've been doing rehab with his
Right.
stumps.
Mhm.
I guess because you said there's some bone fragments. I remember reading, and that's kind of an issue, I imagine, right? As he continues to sort of walk on his.
Yeah.
legs.
We're talking now about, we're talking through the design process, and it probably will take another month to several months to get all the different pieces in place. They have to specially design and make each individual tiny screw, and that takes a while. And
He's growing still. Right?
He's
So-
growing a little bit. He should be mostly grown by now, but I think his development, or his growth at least, was delayed because he was so malnourished.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if he's ever going to catch up completely, but he has grown actually 17% since January.
So a question from one of our listeners is, how does he use the litter?
Oh, actually, I get that
question.
question a lot. It's a good question. He lifts his back end over and steps in on his 2 feet,
Wow.
and then he just sort of balances. And
So he figured it out himself.
He did.
Yeah.
He
You
did.
didn't have to train him to do that. He just
Well, at
you
the
trained him to use the litter.
You probably held
yeah,
him.
in the beginning, he was a disaster back there because it hurt so bad for him to go, and so it took some time, and I had to modify litter boxes and make him stuff that was accessible and all of that. So I have a series of like ramps that go up, and he gets stuff stuck on
on his
him,
bum,
and so these little trails when he
Well, my kitties do that anyway. So.
yeah.
No
So you just
difference.
have to kind of adapt to what his needs are, but he's actually very good about using the litter box.
Well, so and it's natural to him now.
Yeah, and at the beginning, the ER vets thought that he had a neurological condition and wasn't able to go to the bathroom, which would have been a very different story. But luckily it was
It's
just, he
painful.
was just in so much pain.
Yeah.
That once we treated the pain, he was.
And how is he for pain now? Like, do you have to give him medication at all throughout the day?
No.
When you do rehab on?
Occasionally I do, like when he had his procedure to have the little bone fragment removed, he gets
Yeah.
pain meds after that, of course.
Yeah.
But he's
a
happy
trooper,
and
eh?
he's tough, and I think he's just so happy to be alive. He wanted so badly to live
Aw,
that
yeah.
he just lives each day to the
Well, it's
fullest.
amazing
Well,
that he survived out there by
I'm just
himself.
going to say it's almost a miracle.
It is,
that
yeah.
and that you came along.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's true.
And you know the will that the little guy has, and
Yeah.
he's not going anywhere.
No.
He's just going to cuddle right in with you right
I
now.
know. Look at him. Oh,
He just
So
loves
cute.
that. He knows we're talking about him
I
now
know,
too.
now he's
Yeah,
embarrassed.
no, he's oh, mommy. And well, Shelly you do the trap, spay, and neuter and
Trap,
then
neuter,
return,
return,
right?
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, so that's how she originally
Oh,
saw
okay.
him. Because they
Yeah.
go out to the forest, they call it the forest, right?
The happy
and
forest,
then
yeah.
so it doesn't spread because overpopulation is just insane in BC, right? Surrey, Langley, it's really
Yeah.
bad because people let their cats roam around and they're not fixed, and what are they doing, right? And then they come back home and they've already impregnated probably 3 or 4 girl cats, right? And it's sad because mine are fixed, and mine don't even go outside.
Yeah.
Mine are indoor cats. There's
Well,
no way I'm letting them outside.
There's been
You know,
some
either.
movement in the past from the SPCA and some of the veterinarian associations to go in that direction, but you don't hear that
It should
too
be
often.
mandatory. Well, then I guess you wouldn't have more kitties, but you should be responsible about it, right? At least don't let your cats out without knowing how far they're going, or kind of try and keep tabs on them and don't let them out all the time. I think if you have a male cat, they should be fixed if they're indoor and outdoor, I think, right? Because then they
Yeah,
can impregnate
they-
so many.
They all
cats.
need to be spayed and neutered.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Feral cats are very good at being invisible,
Yeah.
and so the colony he came from has more than 200 cats in it, and the
Wow.
neighbors are shocked because they'll see a cat occasionally,
But
but they have
when you
no
tell them-
idea there are 200 cats back there, and if we hadn't
Wow.
come in when we did, there would be 400, 500, 600. I mean, it would be incredible. It's exponential.
It's amazing what one mom cat, how many
Mhm.
litters she can have, and then it spreads and it spreads. It's just crazy, like how many feral cats that are running around that we are not taking care of. But I know you guys do a great job. You bring food to them and stuff.
We do.
Right?
We feed them
Yeah.
daily, and we bring in the injured ones and take care of
Yeah,
them.
I
We
saw
have the cat
Sky
with
with her eye. She's blind in one eye, and she gave birth too.
She did. She
Yeah.
had to have an emergency C-section, so she
Yeah.
would have died out there in the
Oh,
forest.
see,
It's-
exactly. She would have died, and so were
And
her
nobody
kitties.
knows. Nobody sees the stuff going on,
No.
so it's not as big of a concern.
No, that's why
but-
we need to get it out in the
So
community.
this
so
is
people are
in
aware.
one part of a community in Langley?
Yeah, it's on one property. It's a rural property, and a lot of farmers like having cats around for rodent
For the-
control
Yes,
and that
yes.
sort of thing.
Mice and
And,
stuff.
But it's gotten out of hand.
Well, yeah, there are kind of two schools of thought. One is they call it the farmer's solution, which is not exactly a humane way to
Oh.
control the cats when they get
Probably not
overpopulated.
gonna want to hear this.
And then this property owner is very compassionate and didn't do that.
That's
And then
good.
so then the consequence of that is tons of cats. So, but he's been great about letting us. He wants to help the cats, and
That's
so
great. That's
yeah.
nice that there are people out there. Like
oh yeah.
that, you know.
So he's been great, and we're super happy to be working with him and getting his cats spayed and neutered. And
Yep, so then they don't, It's
Yeah.
amazing how they can breed. And I mean, we're in kitty season now, aren't
Yeah.
we? Yeah. It's crazy that
Yeah.
how many kitties are brought, and especially into laps and stuff like that too,
Right,
right?
right.
Because that's where I got my kitty, one of my kitties.
That's awesome.
From Langley Animal Protection Society. So
Oh,
that's how I
hope my
discovered
daughter's
you.
not
I
listening.
know,
She's
you're
not
going to be
coming home
bringing
with
a
a
cat
cat.
home.
I
Gosh,
have
the
her little
kittens.
beagle.
everybody loves a kitten.
And
Two kittens.
the little guy gets along with a cat, and this is another cat. He's got an abnormality. The cat doesn't have a tail. I don't know him, but
Oh, well,
the
my
person
cat's,
that
I have a
cares for-
Manx, so they have she has a tiny little tail, so maybe it's a Manx.
And
one, yeah.
you know they're best friends. They
Yeah.
go and lie in the sun together
Aw.
when he has to stay over at
That's cute.
Shelly's house, and her name's Shelly too. And again, 2 cats, but that's great. Listen, I want to thank you very much for coming on the show, Leah. Thank you.
Yes.
And
No,
I
thanks for
had
having
no
us.
idea you 2 just met today.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
thought you
yeah.
were almost like sisters.
And
The
then-
way she was talking about
I
you,
know.
Shelly.
I've told when I was at my other station, everybody knew about you, and they watched me watch kitties being born. So there you go.
Well, Leah, you've got some work to do, though. You're taking the show till 3 o'clock
Yes,
this afternoon.
exactly.
So
Busy.
let's take some pictures with Shelly and
Absolutely.
Cassidy, and then you're
And it's my
on the
show,
mic
too.
till 3 o'clock this afternoon. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you on Monday. This is pulsefm.ca.
I'm gonna play some clips on my show.
Oh, awesome.
Sure.
Because mine goes on
Cassidy.
music.
Yeah,
so, but
yeah.
Then
Can you say hi to everybody?
Like, no, we can.
Say hi, everybody.
Oh,
Hi.
what a cutie.
Hello. And,
Say hi.
and hi. And then we're going to say it's time to say bye-bye. Say bye, everybody.
Look, he's
Oh,
ready.
and he's ready.